What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today's deck comes to us from Dave Solberg. So if you want to see something featured in your afternoon snap, leave it as a comment down below and I will check it out. We're going to take a look at two games today in this video with this movement beast falcon deck. We're bouncing cards, we're moving cards. It can be a very tricky deck to play with, and we get up to some nice little tricks in this game, especially with Camartage. That's a really good location with this deck and a really good location with the hood. So I'm going to go ahead and snap on turn one. We can add two demons to our hand right now, and then we can bounce the hood with beast and falcon a few times and create even more demons. So I'm just going to go ahead and play falcon on turn two. Main thing that's going to allow me to do is start to drop some of these demons, get those out on the board, and it will also return the hood to our hand, of course, this turn. I want to play my demons in Wakanda. That's the plan, to potentially dodge something like Killmonger. So that is what we are up to. And then on turn three, when Monster Island is revealed, we draw Iron Fist for the turn, which is absolutely huge because now we can Iron Fist into Camartage and get double activations on Human Torch. So that's really sweet. Throw that demon over into Wakanda, and then we are going to see this Iron Fist activate twice on the Human Torch, knock it up to 4, and then double it again up to 8. So that is going to be a ton of power for us. Then we can beast and bounce and do it again. So this one is looking like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I guess my opponent saw this coming. They preemptively played a Killmonger. So that's going to destroy the Human Torch, and that is what I would say one of the downsides of this deck. You are running a bunch of one-cost cards, and you can't always really rely on the Human Torch. I've had a few games where I've gotten blown out by having my Human Torch along with some of my demons destroyed on the final turn, but when your opponent runs out the Killmonger this early, at the very least, that means that now you can continue to play some more one-cost cards later on. So we're going to play the hood again into Camartage and grab another pair of demons. And then we're probably going to beast it and see what else we can do to wrap this one up. My opponent's going to play a Maximus, which is going to allow us to draw even more cards, and then they're going to snap. I'm not sure if they want to Maximus this early. Honestly, just now realizing this could be a bot opponent because they snapped on 5 while they were winning, which is typically bot behavior. But either way, we are going to throw a demon and a beast into Camartage because we just drew the collector. So now we can add a bunch of stats to the collector. We could play some other stuff. We could play like the cloak or something too. I think that is going to ultimately be the play that I go with, though there is like some temptation. If we were able to play Nightcrawler and not bounce it this turn, then we could play Miles Morales. No, we couldn't even. There's no time to play Miles Morales. You'd have to play something on turn 4 because we won't be able to move something in time. Sorry, I was just thinking through all of my options again. My opponent going to play a Dr. Octopus, which we dodge because we've got a full Camartage, or you could say we didn't get any value there because we had a full Camartage. And then we are going to beast and bounce 3 things to our hand. That's going to pump up the collector, and it's also going to mean that we don't draw America Chavez this turn. So that could have been a little bit of a mistake even so. But we are going to make the most of it. I'll drop Angela and Demon into Camartage for plus 12 power, and the hood putting into Camartage isn't going to add or remove any power. It's -2 from the hood, +2 on Angela, but it will give the collector +2 power. So we're kind of spreading our stuff out in that way. And then looks like I'm going to move some things around here. This deck definitely does a lot. That's right, I'm ultimately going to decide to go for some more power in Camartage, sacrifice Wakanda a little bit. We're winning there by 12. And sacrifice a little bit of power over in Monster Island, which we're also adding a demon to. And looks like that is going to work out just fine. We're going to play this demon here. I guess what was it, Odin would be an awkward play for my opponent, but they are just going to play Magneto, so they will win on Kamar Taj, but we will still be able to win those other 2 locations pretty handedly. So there you go, a nice little 8-cube victory. Like I said, I want to look at one more game in this video, so that is what we're going to look at next. And this one goes a little bit different. We don't get Killmongered, so that is always really good, but this one is going to be a Mindscape game. At the start of turn 6, swap hands, and we're able to make some really, really great use out of Mindscape in this one. I'm going to throw the Collector into Atlantis, because Collector is one of the bigger characters in my deck, and we can probably get away with just the Collector going on and not have to worry about adding too many other things. Isle of Silence actually doesn't affect this deck at all. I think we've got 0 ongoing abilities, yeah, unless we grab them from Agent 13 or something, but otherwise, no ongoing abilities. I'm going to play Angela plus the Hood over into Isle of Silence, grab that demon, and we also have Iron Fist and Human Torch already, so definitely some potential synergies lined up for the future. Opponent going to go Mr. Fantastic into the center lane, so currently tied with Collector, but we will be able to win that location ultimately. And then on turn 4, we get to go Iron Fist, Human Torch, Falcon. That is what I'm eyeing up here. And we even get to grab a little bit more value out of Angela by putting all of our 1-cost cards over into that Isle of Silence location. So I'm going to go ahead and snap, knowing we've got a big Angela and a big Collector, and we're also going to have a big Human Torch that we'll get to play around with. But my opponent also looking to have a pretty big character. They play Shuri, which doubles the power of the next card that you play. Most often I've seen Shuri paired with Red Skull, so that's kind of what I'm expecting, and it's a little bit unfortunate that we've got Isle of Silence as one of our locations this game, because that means that they have a free location with which to dump their Red Skull at. That's probably going into the Isle of Silence. So I want to see if I can give Angela some more power and really combat this Red Skull. But one thing that is really cool that we get to do here is totally dump our hand. We moved something last turn, so Miles Morales only costs 1, and everything else in my hand also only costs 1. So the only thing that we're giving to my opponent is the Hood, which would be -2 power. My opponent's going to play a 30 power Red Skull, so a little bit of a power discrepancy, but then they're going to give me everything that they had, and I don't give them jack. So they're only going to be able to play 1 card this turn, which means that they can win Mindscape or Atlantis, and with Chavez, or yeah, Doc Ock into Isle of Silence, we can guarantee that we're going to be able to win that location. So a really sweet one. I just kind of said it was the opposite, because in that first game we had all of the cards in our hand. We made so many demons, and in that second game we were able to dump everything, so that way we gave my opponent nothing with Mindscape. So really funny one. Thank you very much for the deck suggestion, Dave, and let me know, everybody else, or Dave, if you have another suggestion, and I will play it for the next Your Afternoon Snap. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.